Libra, welcome to your November 2020 General Tarot reading. It's Rena here. It's so funny, for a week I've had my ear stopped up and it's like I can't tell like how loud I'm talking, and I think I'm talking softer than I normally do, but I'm not sure. So if I'm screaming or if I'm talking too softly, hopefully you can crank it up. So I'm back to the Wild Unknown Tarot deck, which is really, really nice in October and November during Scorpio season. But as I record this, we are on the last day of Libra season. I'm recording this on October 21st. So there you go. So you're going to be next because of that. Oh, some of these cards, I always joke that they have these creepy images, but some of them are actually very beautiful. But some of them are very macabre, and the Four of Cups definitely qualifies in my book for that. Okay, I'm going to pick one more card. All right, just because, I don't know, sometimes reverse cards, I like to, reverse cards, it's not all about positive versus negative. Some reverse cards are actually very positive, more positive than the upright. But the problem is that they can seem like they're unresolved issues. And I like to kind of end with a decisive note, So the heart of the matter is the Four of Cups. This is what I'm talking about. Ooh, that gives me the shivers. Because that looks like a rat to me. It's so funny though, but I love, see those lines behind it and the black and white imagery. Some of these cards have black and white, but some of them have pops of color, which is really neat too. So the Four of Cups is a card of emotional flatness, or some kind of dissatisfaction that is occurring, not feeling really jazzed up about a situation. I have read other interpretations which I don't normally use, like for instance that it's about emotional stabilization. So maybe in relationships, finding somebody who grounds you, who makes you more together. If you've had a series of drama-filled relationships, or even if you're not the one who's involved in the drama, but you feel the sense of erratic behavior from the other person, you never know what they're going to do, what they're going, say, and all that stuff, and finally having something that might be considered kind of boring, and I'm being facetious, but a lot more, a lot less crazy making. So I tend to read it as a challenging card because of the illustrations that are usually accompany it. Obviously, the Rider-Waite deck doesn't have a rat, but just somebody who looks kind of disinterested. They show like a cup from the cloud, kind of like indicating, receiving some kind of like offer of love in particular. So to me, it can even be a relationship where you're dissatisfied in the relationship, but the other person may be reaching out. I think, though, in those cases, that what has happened is that the person has been so abusive or just bad, in the relationship, that it has created this this sense of disillusionment or dissatisfaction, because you might read the writing on the wall and say, hey, I don't want to deal with this anymore because I know it's not going to turn out in a good way. So in the past position, we have the World card. So the World card is actually it's number 21. It's actually the 22nd card because you have to count the Fool, which is 0. And it's the last card of the major arcana. So it does indicate endings and stuff like that. And that could possibly be some kind of a relationship that came to a close because of that feeling. But it's important to note that sometimes when a person is dissatisfied in their life as a whole, and that could be like not feeling a sense of satisfaction in what you're doing professionally, or I don't even like to use the word professionally because it can be, you could be retired, but you know, some people are very big on volunteer work, and they have a strong passion with a certain cause. But if you don't feel aligned to a cause, a purpose, I think that's about, if you don't feel like you have a purpose in life, it can be easy to kind of like point fingers at, okay, I'm going to fix this, I'm going to fix that, and it's your fault that I don't have a purpose, or I don't feel aligned to something, that I feel kind of just blah. The Four of Cups to me can be depression, although I would say it's more like malaise, which is kind of like an overall feeling of just meh, you know, not very interested in anything. And so in that case, what I think of is somebody who is looking for the cause of it and not looking at their own life. And that this can happen if you have a tendency to be codependent and you're looking for your partner to give you that sense of purpose. And they might be off doing their own thing and you think, they're neglecting me. And maybe in some cases a workaholic is neglecting their partner, but I'm talking about in general. If you're expecting somebody to always be there and to entertain you, and you're not doing what you came here to do as an individual, that can be where this is coming from. And so you're changing, you know, what do they say, playing musical chairs on the Titanic, you know, you're changing chairs and changing people, but you're still sinking, you're still not finding your true self. So you have to look at that. But there might be the feeling that you have finally had enough with a particular person, and this is absolutely what you need to be doing. What the higher message is the Two of Pentacles in reverse. I was just like struck by this card, you know, the butterfly. And we know that the butterfly is a card of transformation. And I was kind of, you know, caught up in that and saying, wow, that's very interesting that they chose the Two of Pentacles for this, that they chose a butterfly for this card. Because in the Rider-Waite deck, they show somebody who's juggling two things, two pentacles, two coins, to indicate somebody who may be working two jobs, who may be balancing school and work, and they have a lot on their plate. In the reversed position, this can be even more pronounced, to the point of maybe the person is using busyness as an escape hatch. And I could totally see somebody like a Libra person doing this, and doing it because they're trying to distract themselves from the important things in life. And some of those important things may be, you know, what am I feeling? What am I going through right now? And depression, unhappiness, a lack of inner peace, these are all symptoms. They're not things unto themselves. They're symptoms of underlying lack of alignment, lack of purpose that is coming from where? It's an inside job, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's coming from you, and it's a message to you. Just like physical pain can be a message to you, emotional pain. But this isn't even necessarily emotional pain. This can be just a sense of constriction. The number 4 with the Four of Cups is a number of, you know, it's connected to Saturn. So it's a feeling of constriction, not being able to move, not being able to, stuck energy. And a relationship, you might be with somebody who's a nice person. Maybe they don't treat you badly, but you don't feel like you're growing with them. You don't feel like when you have conversations that you're learning from them and they are learning from you. You feel like it's same old, same old. Wash, rinse, repeat, and the soul craves expansion. I mean, I think we can safely say that based on how we tend to want to do new things, experience new things, and just have more influences in our lives that maybe take us in different directions. And that can be another thing too, that if your growth pattern with somebody else has not been on par, you might be going in different directions. And so it just kind of feels emotionally barren. So I'm interested in that too, of Pentacles as the butterfly. Maybe you feel that you can't spread your wings, that you can't, that you're doing busy stuff, but you're not really doing what makes your heart sing. And in some cases, this can be, the first step might be starting to let go of things. If you have 2 jobs, why do you have them? Do you really need them to eat, or do you have it because you just have always been somebody who wants to be on the go? And, have you questioned why you need that constant stimulation? Is it really that you're looking for distraction in life? Do you fear being alone? Do you have to always be around other people? Trying to pare down your obligations, your whatever they are, whether it's to other people or to yourself that you have, created for yourself, so that you can have more free time, so that you can start to create the life that you want. That might be one of the first things that you have to do. Maybe there are other changes that you need to make. Maybe you need to pare down your lifestyle. Libra likes to live large sometimes and likes to have nice things. Well, maybe you're valuing things over well-being, and then it takes time to earn money for those things. Read Walden Pond by Thoreau and kind of get your mind back on, what is our life all about? If you want some kind of wake-up call, reality check. Because he talks about, okay, this is how much time it takes to earn the money to make, to buy this, to buy that, And it's like we always say, what's that phrase? Time is money. Well, money is time, isn't it? Money, to earn money, it takes time. And time, you can have a lot of money and be time impoverished. So anyway, enough of my philosophizing, right? What crosses you is the Son of Cups, which is the Knight of Cups. So I want to see if it says anything. I thought it had words in the cup. So this is the Knight of Cups. This is in a challenge position. So this may be somebody that you're involved with. Now this person would be possibly a water sign, Cancer. I'm laughing because that tends to be the sign that Libra, being a cardinal sign. Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Or a Pisces person who you feel the sense of, maybe they're very talented creatively, and you respect creativity, you respect artistic talents. But the problem is that this person has emotional problems. Maybe they have a drinking problem, an addiction. And at one time, there was a feeling that there was potential in this relationship, but you see the immaturity in this person. And they can see the Knight, a lot of times they'll say to read the cards based on chronological age. And I realized early on, at some point I realized that that wasn't going to cut it, because sometimes people can be overgrown children, and they can be, middle-aged or retirement age. They're still emotionally immature. And you can have young people who are very emotionally balanced and wise beyond their years. So I don't do that anymore. I don't read it like that. And so whoever this person is, they might not have control of their emotions. And it's affecting you negatively. And you may have felt responsible for them in some way, but you just don't have those emotional feelings for them anymore. And that might be something that is hard to kind of reconcile with, because you feel this sense of like, that you want to be understanding, you want to be nice, that's one of your big things in life, is to be nice. Well, be nice to yourself. If you're nice to yourself, Libra, you will automatically be nice to everyone else. If you're not nice to yourself, if you're not giving yourself a break and allowing yourself to want what you want and not want what you don't want, if you don't do that, you're going to find that you are keeping yourself from your happiness, and that's no good. You deserve happiness just like anyone else. So, claim it, and, definitely believe that you're deserving of it. And also, I would say that this can even be a situation if you do not, if you have a relationship that is just kind of floundering, but you haven't taken any steps regarding really, because it's over, like the World card is like, this is over with, and you still haven't taken any steps. The thing is that you need to really follow through, because that Knight of Cups could be in your vibrational escrow, to use Abraham Hicks terminology, where there's somebody that is the perfect fit for you romantically, and you're stuck in a loveless relationship. And the other thing too is, if this involves your professional life, you may not be happy with what you're doing, with the direction. You might be doing it for the wrong reasons, perhaps for financial reasons, although it's not necessarily indicated. I would say the Two of Pentacles can simply be, maybe you're a bit indecisive. You haven't really honed in on what you want. I would say maybe something creative is what is right for you, but you are rejecting it. And if there's somebody else in your life who is wanting to partner with you, with the Knight of Cups, maybe there is somebody that has been encouraging you, or they want to partner with you in this, or they have offered something, because the Knight of Cups is about, it could be an offer. Are you refusing it because you think you have to be doing something else? And that could be like, yeah, because it's funny, I wasn't even thinking about this. When I first got this card, this is the Moon card in reverse, I wasn't thinking in terms of, that was kind of what came into my mind, is that Libra is rejecting their artistic talents or their creative side for some reason. And, what do you gain from that? Perhaps you have in your mind, this is not going to work. If you have a lot of, I would say either, because you're flanked astrologically by Virgo and Scorpio, and both of these signs in their own ways, they're both feminine signs, and they do tend to be kind of pragmatic. Well, I don't know about Scorpio pragmatic, but certainly Virgo. if you have inner planets in Virgo, be it Mercury, the way that you think about things, Venus, your values, Mars, your actions, you may, and the moon sign can be in anything, you know, that Taurus or Virgo or Capricorn, very into the grounded, practical side, but maybe sometimes excessively so, and for kind of fear-based reasons, or you know, parental conditioning, societal conditioning. You might assume that you need to have something, I need to have something that is stable, is this, and of course everybody wants something that's stable, but sometimes we have to maybe take chances. I mean, think about the people that, you know, had these amazing accomplishments. They had them because they took a chance a lot of times when it really wasn't a done deal. It wasn't like a given that it was going to work. Sometimes artists work thanklessly, not getting any kind of credit and getting all kinds of rejections, like an author, years and years and years, and then they hit it big. You have to believe in yourself, though. And with the moon card in reverse, there can be this rejection of the creative. There can be rejection of the intuition. That's a big one as well. Being an air sign, you may be very into what is intellectual, not practical, but logical. And, you know, the moon is naturally illogical, but that does not mean that it's wrong. The spiritual is not material. So, of course, it's not going to follow the laws of logic. You can't quantify it. You can't see it under a microscope, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. The moon card is actually connected to Pisces, so understanding the upheaval from somebody like this in your life and how it affects you. Maybe it affects your mood with the Four of Cups, and that affects everything around you. Also, the moon rules Cancer, so I will include that sign in here. And then I picked an additional card, and I'm going to give you a little, what do you call it? Some kind of, I can't think of that term, but disclosure, honest disclosure, whatever I meant to say. Because I picked the moon card, and I picked an additional card that was in the reversed position, and I like to end readings if I feel that the final card is not either, you know, uplifting, or it kind of leaves things in the lurch, as a lot of reversed cards seem to do, because you want to right that situation, you know, that is reversed or is kind of wonky. I picked a card. I had these different piles, and I picked one from a different pile, thinking that perhaps it would be upright, because so it, you know, maybe I should have just continued with that other pile, but I didn't want to end. So you could say, well, you engineered this reading, but you know, I didn't know what card it was, so you can't say that. But I just wanted you to know that I intentionally did that, because I actually have a rule when I'm dealing out the cards that if there's two reverse cards in a row, then I actually look at the bottom of the deck to make sure that they're not all reversed, because sometimes you pick up the deck upside down. In this case, I haven't used this deck in a long time, so there were some cards that were mixed in upside down. But this is the Three of Wands, and it's in the reversed position, so it's indicating that you are not experiencing this expansion, creative expansion, maybe geographical expansion. The Two of Pentacles, by the way, can be traveling overseas or a job offer from overseas. So if that's something that has come up and you've been, you know, a little bit hesitant to accept such a job, then perhaps that's something that you need to look at. And then we have the other card that I picked, the Daughter of Wands, which is the Page of Wands. And this is a card of exciting new beginnings. So But this is, you know, whenever you get wands, you're talking about the individual. So this is much so, the last two cards I got were wands. You notice how I got these kind of emo kinds of cards. Four of Cups. Cups are water. Son of Cups. Then we have the Moon card, which is connected to water energy. Very watery, very emotional. And emotions can be, you know, your conditioned responses. They can be that part of yourself that feels reactive towards life. You're not taking action. The wands are about movement, about individuality, about joy. And this is the kind of thing that you want to cultivate. It's a very, you know, it's a masculine energy. I don't know about pages. It says daughter, so it might have a feminine connotation, but it's beginnings. So the begin of something, that start spreading the news. You hear good news, messages that come in. I hope I didn't say the Ace of Wands before. I meant the Page of Wands. So, you know, the beginning of the start of something that you have initiated that gives you that sense of joy that is lacking in the Four of Cups. So, you know, you are going to experience in November a new moon in your second house of earned income in Scorpio. So maybe that is something that you have been kind of waiting for. Maybe that is the Knight of Cups, this kind of offer that you have been waiting for that comes through, and you're happily embarking on this new project. And it's about you. It's your stamp, and it's creative with Wands energy. Okay, that's what I have for you, Libra. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I wish you a happy birthday. If you would like a personal reading, if you'd like to look at the year ahead, especially as you are having your solar, or you have had your solar return, it's really cool to see your individual chart and to have it interpreted and to look at some of the themes coming up for you. I'm very much focused on personal self-growth, using any transits as a springboard based on your own actions, and feeling that you have that sense of responsibility and autonomy in your life to make those changes. And also I have like a combination reading, a tarot, full-length nail chart, and transits reading called The Whole Enchilada for a special price. You can check it all out on my site. The link is below. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.